What movie should I talk about? I have so many that I can talk about. I don't think I've talked about The Forest. Did I? Hey there, creepy peeps, and welcome to another movie review. Not stale this time, yes. 2016, guys. Today we're gonna talk about The Forest. Finally, I didn't realize that I hadn't done this review yet, which I really hope I didn't. So I did talk about this movie a little bit in my Weird Wednesday video where I did like 2016 horror movies that are coming out. So I did talk about this. It's directed by Jason Zeta? I'm not sure if that's how you say the name. Y'all know how I am with last names. I looked him up and the only thing that I had seen that he had worked on was The House is October Built. He has a writing credit for that movie. So that's cool. So if you didn't watch my 2016 horror movies video, The Forest is about a girl, or not a girl, a lady named Sarah, yeah, they're twins, so sorry. Sarah, who goes to Japan to find her sister Jess, who has gone missing in Aokigahara, which is the suicide forest in Japan, which I also did a video on. I'll link below, but quickly, Aokigahara is a forest at the base of Mount Fuji. A real place at the base of Mount Fuji that has become an infamous spot for killing oneself. It is the second most popular place in the world to take one's own life after the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco. But yeah, I'll link that video down below in case you're interested in that place. So Sarah goes to Japan to find her sister in the forest, and strange things happen, of course. It's a horror movie. Sarah goes in the forest with two guides, Michi and Aiden. Michi is, I can't remember, I think his character is meant to be kind of like the Suicide Watch almost, like he goes through and, you know, tries to find people and things like that. They do come across a person. There are some parallels to this like mini documentary I saw on Vice, where like the documentary crew was following like this person. He was like a geologist though, but he walks through the forest quite a lot, and they come across a person in a tent, like a live person, and the guide goes over and talks to them for a little bit and comes back, and they have a moment in the movie where that happens as well. My phone just went off, sorry about that. But anyways, yeah. So in the movie, they play up the psychological stress that the forest has on people. As far as I know, in the real forest, there's no accounts of the forest making people go crazy in particular, but they keep hinting at in the movie, like they don't want Sarah to go in and look for her sister because they always say, like, you know, you'll see strange things in the forest and we shouldn't be out there at night, and you really need to go with a guide and blah 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 blah. And you know, maybe if she went in, she doesn't want to be found, or you know, had no intention of coming out, that sort of thing. So they play up the psychological stress a bit. So when they enter the forest, Sarah, who already has some sadness in her heart, starts to see and hear strange things. The forest is playing tricks on her, and she kind of spirals down into madness throughout the movie because of her past, which has a history of suicide. Her parents, spoiler alert, killed themselves when Sarah and Jess were kind of young. Yeah, they hopefully I'm not getting, like, I don't think that's much of a spoiler because I'll just explain. Like, they kind of make it seem like Sarah is suppressing that, like psychologically, I guess, because she talks about how, like, kind of like the only difference between her and Jess is Jess saw her parents' bodies and Sarah closed her eyes and looked away. You know, so she feels guilty that Jess carries that with her and she can't share that burden because she chose to look away before she could see anything. Well, when they're playing the memory at first in her head, like she's telling Aiden, who is a journalist, she's telling him that her parents were in a car accident. So when we're in the flashback, like when we're supposed to hear what is supposed to be the car crash, it's very obviously a gunshot. Very obviously a gunshot. And then Aiden asks her if they ever caught the guy, like the drunk driver or whatever, and she like immediately is just like, who? Because her story is fake, obviously. So I wasn't really sure if she was, I don't know, I guess, I guess she was purposefully lying, which I don't understand, but then they made it seem like she has another flashback later on where she actually sees her parents' bodies and the gun and things like that, you know, realizing that they killed themselves. I guess so. I don't really understand if she was supposed to be suppressing it or she didn't know, like she really didn't know or anything like that. I didn't really understand that part, but they made it quite obvious. And then when they revealed it, they made like this whole big deal about revealing that they killed themselves. And I was like, yeah, I figured this out like 15 minutes in when we had the first flashback. Pretty obvious. So I don't really understand that part. But that's kind of like the sadness in her heart, I guess, that makes her susceptible to the forest and its creepiness. So of course, the movie is set in Japan, so we do have creepy Japanese ghosts called yurei, and scary ghosts of Japanese schoolgirls, which are always really creepy. So that's fun, I guess. And there are, I did notice a few like little, I don't know if I'd call them like nods to Japanese horror movies, but there's definitely small touches of like Japanese horror style, I guess, in the way like the ghosts and spirits kind of like move and crawl after Sarah and everybody. It's something I've only seen in Japanese horror movies or remakes of Japanese horror movies, so there are some little bits of J-horror style in there for fans of Japanese horror movies. But other than that, I feel like the movie was a little bit blah. I mean, the ending was like semi-shocking, kind of shocking. I won't give it away, in case anybody wants to see it. I could always just put up a spoiler warning, but it's not even really that shocking to reveal, to be honest. It's just a little bit semi-shocking. Again, you kind of understand when it happens, and then the realization of what happens, like when Sarah finally realizes what happens, what she did to herself. You're kind of just like, okay, yeah, I kind of saw that. I kind of understood that when it happened initially. I kind of understood. Just know she's going through a mental breakdown pretty much the whole time, so you can't trust anything that she sees or hears, if that gives you any hints as to what happens. Or if you watch it when it comes up, you'll understand. You'll get it. Y'all are smart out there, so. But yeah, other than that, it was kind of blah. I feel like they could have done much better. I don't know if maybe it's just because I knew about the forest, that I knew about Aokigahara before going into the movie. I just feel like they could have, it's not that they made fun of it, I guess. I don't know. It was a mainstream horror movie, I guess. It's not that they didn't take it seriously, but I feel like it could have had like a more serious and sad undertone to it, which it didn't have. I think it was just because they played up that psychological factor, like if you have like sadness in your heart already, the forest is gonna play on that and make you like, it's gonna try and trick you into killing yourself. So I guess I kind of didn't really like that part, because obviously that's not true. That's like, people don't just go hiking in the forest, and if they have sadness in their heart, the forest doesn't play tricks on them to get them to kill themselves. So I feel like they could have just handled it a little better. I feel like it's already very sad and a little bit creepy and unsettling all on its own without adding to it. But like I said, it is a mainstream horror movie, so it's kind of to be expected. They're gonna dramatize it, obviously. So I guess, I don't know. Maybe if I didn't know about Aokigahara, maybe I might have enjoyed it more. But since working at the movie theater before going to see this movie, anybody that came up, any guests that came up to the bar and they told me they were seeing the movie, I asked them, you know, I was like asking them about it and stuff like that. A surprising number of people didn't know that that forest is real. And I felt like this creepy, like macabre expert because I was like, oh, it's real. And then I like, as I'm making their drink and stuff, I'm just going on and on about this real life forest where people go to kill themselves. I was just surprised at the number of people, like for it being the second most popular place in the world to kill yourself. I feel like more people would have known about it. I normally don't feel that alone in my weirdness. Like I'm usually like, well, yeah, I'm into like creepy shit, but there's a lot of other people that are into creepy shit. And then stuff like that happens and I'm like, maybe I'm the only one into this creepy shit. I was just surprised at the number of people that didn't know about it, or didn't know that it was real. Or they just found out. They come up like, did you know that place is real? And I'm like, let me tell you. I like became the unofficial expert at AMC for Aokigahara. No, I wasn't. But yeah, so overall, movie was blah. Probably won't buy the DVD, probably won't watch it again, to be honest. I say this all the time, but it wasn't the worst movie I ever saw. So, I mean, there's that. And I wouldn't necessarily recommend going to see it. It's okay. So if you saw The Forest, let me know in the comment section down below what you thought of the movie, and yeah, what else? Let me know if you knew about Aokigahara before seeing the movie, if you saw it, or before I talked about it on my channel. Did you know anything about it? I want to kind of take a poll, maybe like the horror movie fans, like, did you guys know about it? Yeah, leave a like if you did like the video, and feel free to subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more of my face and hear more of my voice. And thank you if you are subscribed already, and until next time, stay strange. Bye!